We'll start to alternate your knees. Just bring your right knee into your chest, giving it a squeeze. Exhaling as you bring that knee in. And inhale as you lengthen that leg back onto the floor. Good. Inhaling that left knee and squeezing it in as you exhale. Moving with your breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Opposite knee. Just keep going here, nice and slow. You can take a nice long breath in and a longer exhale out. Just moving mindfully with your breath. Always lift your nose to knee if you want. Good, one more time. Exhaling at the top. And then just see if you can bring both knees, bending them over your hips and keeping your shins parallel with the earth. See if you can flatten that sacrum, that low back. So flatten. So you can only maybe fit one hand under your lower back. So that arch, you just want enough room for your palm to fit under your back. So pressing that low back sacrum into the earth. Just bring your hands onto your thighs. Knees are bent. See if you can squeeze your knees in as you bend your elbows. Exhaling here. And push the thighs away so your knees are lined up right over your hips as you inhale. Trying to keep that low back down. Squeeze your knees in as you exhale. And push the thighs away just till they're right over your hips. Good. Keep moving with your breath. Exhale, knees in. Inhale, press the palms away into your thighs, straightening your arms. Good. Exhaling in. 5 more. Inhale. Try to keep that low back on the earth. You can always lift your head if you want. Focusing on your breath. And flattening that lower back into the earth. Feel the sacrum and the earth meeting. Good. 3. And 2. Good. One more time. Squeeze as you exhale. And push those thighs away as you inhale. Good. Just dropping both heels down to the earth. Knees are bent. And just holding on to the sides of your mat. Again, see if you can pull your navel towards your spine, flattening your sacrum. Think about the earth meeting your sacrum. And just lifting your right foot up. Knee is bent. We're going to alternate heel taps here. Dropping your right heel to the earth, keeping your left knee up. And inhale it up. Exhale, tap. Again, pulling your navel in and trying to keep those knees over your hips. Good. Just tap and lift. Alternating here. If you can pull your navel in, pressing your lower back down, just strengthening our core. So we need that strong core, strong lower back. Good. Just 10 more here. And 10. Maybe engage that Ujjayi breath. 9. And 8. 7. 6. Good. The slower you go, the harder it is. 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Squeeze those knees in. Just gently rock here, side to side. Take a few breaths here. Circling your knees. Making some circles and just feeling that connection with the earth and your sacrum. That low back. Just start to move in the opposite direction here, big circles. Good. Just drop your feet on the earth, knees are bent, and let your knees rest for a minute. Walking your feet out a little wider, knees resting on one another. Take a few breaths here. Filling your belly up, ribs expand, chest rises, and exhaling 3 pots down. Good. When you're ready, just taking one block. If you don't have a block, don't worry about it. You're just going to place that block in between your knees. And squeezing that block. Squeezing your inner thighs here. Holding that block. And see if you can press your belly towards the earth. Again, earth meeting sacrum. Just toning our lower back here, squeezing that block and engaging our adductor muscles. And just release. See if you can squeeze. And release. Squeezing that block. And release. Keeping that low back down. Think about your pelvic floor. Squeezing your pelvic floor up. And pulling your navel in. Squeezing the block. And releasing. Just noticing that pelvic tilt. Keeping the water in. And tipping the water slightly out. Just doing that a couple more times. Squeezing. Engaging all the bandhas. Good. Lifting up. Squeeze the block. And exhale, release. Good. 5 more. Inhale as you tilt. Exhale, release. 4. Squeezing that block as hard as you can. And 3. Good. 2. And 1. Good. Just removing that block off to the side. And see if you can bring your right arm up over your head. And just letting that shoulder come back in. Just letting the right arm relax. And see if you can take your feet as wide as your mat. Drop your knees to the left. You should keep that right arm, right shoulder on the earth. Just taking a few breaths here. Feeling a nice long spine. Just focusing on your breath here. Ujjayi. If you can take a nice long breath into the nose and lightly closing your lips. Exhale out your nose. Slowly bring that right arm down by your side and take that left arm up, letting it relax on the earth. Just dropping that arm back into the shoulder socket and dropping your knees to the right. And feeling this maybe in the psoas muscle, piriformis, just breathing in that left outer hip. Good, one more long breath in. And bring that left arm back down by your side, bringing those knees back in. And we'll take our right ankle onto our left thigh for our figure 4 pose. You can just stay here. Again, see if you can bring your low back to meet the earth and maybe lightly touch your right knee, pressing it out to the front of the room. If this isn't enough, if you're not feeling anything, you can lift your left foot off the earth, flexing both feet, and maybe hold on to your right foot and right knee. Just making any movement calling out to you. Maybe some circles. Feeling all the right hip muscles. Stretching these. This is great for sciatica, if you have sciatica, lower back pain. Just take a few more breaths here. Closer you bring that left knee to your chest, the more intense it will be. Good, and releasing that down. Taking that on the other side, left ankle on right thigh. Just staying right here. See if you can pull your navel toward your spine, keeping that low back on the earth. Maybe press that left knee away. If that's not enough, just lifting your right foot, pulling that right knee toward your chest. You want to move, you can move. If you want to find stillness, you can find stillness. Just noticing where you're feeling those sensations and breathe into that space. Softening and releasing. Good, one more breath here and exhale. Slowly release that left foot and just take a gentle windshield wiper. Just grabbing that block again when you're ready. Coming into Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose, walking those heels as close as you can. And taking that block if you want, squeezing it in between your knees again. Bring your arms down by your sides and just see if you can lift your heart up as you lift your hips. And just noticing your chin. Try not to tuck your chin in, just keeping your head, back of the head flat on the mat. Just lifting your heart as high as you can. Maybe tucking one shoulder under at a time. If you want to interlace the fingers, you can. Extending those knuckles towards your heels. Just squeezing that block. You might have to walk your heels a little closer. and lifting your chest up. Keeping your head, back of the head flat on the earth. And breathing here. Squeezing those inner thighs. Good, one more long breath in. And slowly release those hands if you had them binded and lower down one vertebrae at a time. Again, squeezing that block. This time lifting up into your bridge. Lift that right arm up over your head, stretching to the back of your mat. And let that right arm fall down as you exhale, lower down all one vertebrae at a time. Pressing into your feet, lift your hips up, lift that left arm this time over your head. Maybe turn your head to the right. Just lifting your heart up to the sky and lowering down. So we're gonna keep going here, moving, alternating, pressing into your feet. Lifting the right arm, turning your head to the left. Exhale, release. Good, couple more times. Inhale, lift your chest. Lift your heart, left arm, and turn your gaze to the right. Good, one more time. On the right. Inhale, lifting that right arm. Exhale, release. Good, one more time with the left arm. Lifting up. Heart coming up to the sky and your gaze to the right. And lowering that down. Good, releasing that block if you had it. Taking those knees into your chest for Apanasana. And making yourself nice and small, maybe nose to knee. Good, tucking your chin, just rolling up when you're ready. See if you can roll up for 3. Exhaling back. And 2. One more time. And coming into your boat Navasana. So sitting up, heels on the earth. And you can bring your hands behind you if you want, leaning back, knees are bent, scooping your belly in. So we need a strong core for our strong lower back. Keeping that tennis ball under your chin. Holding it here. See if you can breathe in this boat pose, Navasana. If you want to take half boat, you can bring your shins parallel, squeeze your legs. If you want full boat, extend your legs, still squeezing those legs, maybe point your toes. Engaging your breath here and relax those shoulders. Good, slowly bend those knees and give them a squeeze. Take a breath in. Coming back to your boat Navasana, exhaling. So whichever boat you want, heels can be on the earth, halfway or full. Holding it here, gazing at your toes and squeeze those inner thighs together. Just think about scooping your belly in, using your core strength. Good, bend those knees, give them a squeeze. How we doing? One more time. Kicking up, finding your boat, and think about scooping your belly in, squeezing your legs, and just relax those shoulders back. Finding your boat here for 3 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good, crossing those ankles and rolling forward into your table. So hands under your shoulders and knees under your hips, finding that nice long spine. And think about pressing into the earth, spreading all 10 fingers. Middle fingers pointing to the front of your mat. And you want to grip the mat with your knuckles, palms, fingertips, backing off your pinky fingers. Shoulders over wrists. I could come over and put a tray on your back And you wouldn't spill anything, right? Just starting your cat-cow stretches. Think about bringing your heart forward, inhaling, squeezing your shoulder blades together, and pushing the earth away, making space between your shoulder blades as you look at your belly button. Exhale, sweeping your heart forward. Inhale, exhale, push the earth away. Think about making a nice broad upper back, scooping your belly up. Good, just moving with your breath again. Breathing in and breathing out. Good for 3. Pressing into the tops of your feet and stretching your feet and ankles. Good, and coming back to your table. See if you have your blocks, just have them at the front of the mat. If you want to use them, we're going to come into our low lunge. So we're going to step our right foot forward, tuck your back toes, and see if you can step to the left foot to meet your right. Inhale, halfway up, flat back here. Exhale, forward fold, bending your knees. And as you rise up to your mountain, using your core, scoop your belly in, rising up, baby back bend. And swan dive down, flat back, exhale, bending those knees as much as you need to. And see if you can step your right foot back, coming into that low lunge. And take that left foot back, coming back down into your child's pose. Good, take a few breaths here. Just massaging out your forehead. And when you're ready, we're going to do that again. Inhale up to that table. This time, step your left foot forward, come into that low lunge, and think about pelvic tilt, slightly pointing your pelvis forward. And tuck those back toes. As you exhale, stepping forward, right foot to meet left, flat back as you inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold, bending those knees as much as you need to. Good, using your core here. Rising up to the sky, rooting down into your feet, mountain pose. And exhale, swan dive down, forward fold, flat back. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step that right foot back. Low lunge, pressing your hip flexors forward here. And just pulling your pelvis slightly forward. Chin and chest are forward. And when you're ready, stepping that left foot back. Child's pose for an exhale. Again, rising up to the table. This time coming into high lunge, step that right foot forward. Tuck your back toes and come into a high lunge. Rising up here. Checking your front knee is in line with that right big toe. And pulling that right hip slightly back, left hip forward. Good, bend that back knee a little bit. And let those shoulder blades relax. Exhale, bring the palms together and step that left foot to meet your right. Inhale up to mountain. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Good, step that right foot back. High lunge, pressing into the ball of that back foot. Rising up here and think about pulling your pelvis forward just a tad, just a little bit of a tilt coming out of that lower back. Releasing those shoulder blades. And step that right foot to meet your left. Inhale up to the sky. Exhaling your forward fold. Don't be afraid to bend those knees and keep your spine flat. Inhale halfway up. And exhale, plant those hands. This time just step it back. Downward dog. Pressing your hips up and back. And pedaling it out here, squeezing your legs, inner thighs to the back wall. Bending your knees a lot, letting your belly rest towards your thighs. And see if you can let your head droop and melt in between your arm bones. Pushing the earth away. Engaging your arms, nice long spine. Feeling this full body stretch here. Squeezing your belly in. Good. Taking 5 more breaths here in your downward dog. Maybe moving your head side to side. Checking your middle fingers pointed to the front of the mat. Good. Bending those knees. And looking forward, step or hop to the front of your mat, bending those knees, and inhale halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Rising up to the sky. Baby back bend if you want, pushing your hips forward, and palms come to your heart center. Just taking a few breaths here in your mountain. Just checking your feet. See if your toes are pointing forward. Spreading all 10 toes. And squeezing your kneecaps. See if you can pull your navel in, growing taller. So we want to engage our core, that good posture, standing up nice and tall. Feeling all 4 corners of our feet. I will do some side stretches, right? Good. Opening your eyes and sweeping those arms up to the sky. Just holding on to that left wrist. See if you can side bend to the right. Just pressing into that left foot to stay grounded. And see if you can look up to the ceiling, opening up that left side of your ribs. And sweeping those arms down, bend those knees, nice flat back, inhaling up. Holding onto your right wrist and side bend to the left, just reaching up to the ceiling and pressing into that right foot. Just think about growing taller. And exhale, release again. Reaching up, holding onto that left wrist, side bending over. And again, keep going. Inhale up. Bend those knees as much as you need. And coming back up. So we'll take a balance pose next. Bring those palms together and see if you can come back into your chair. Sitting back in your chair for our eagle pose, Garudasana. So maybe your big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Just make sure you can see all 10 toes, like you're sitting in a chair. Sweep those arms out to the sky and bring that right elbow onto your left, finding the bind. Forearms to come together and palms come together. Just think about those elbows in line with your shoulders, gazing out this little hole through your wrists. If you want to do the legs, you can sit a little lower and drop that left knee over your right, taking the bind with the legs and squeezing your belly towards your spine, rooting down into the earth, finding that balance. Good. Slowly release. Inhaling up to the sky and exhaling back into your chair. Open those arms. Left elbow under right. Sitting back, right knee over left. Squeeze those legs. If you can tuck your right toes behind your left calf, try it. You can do this against a wall too. See if you can lengthen your spine, growing a little taller. and then work on lowering down. Gaze out that little hole you made through your wrists. The eagle looks for his prey. And release, inhaling up. Good, again, exhaling into chair. Sweeping that right arm under your left. And left knee over right. Squeeze those legs, find your balance. I don't like going this way, huh? Finding your eagle, Garudasana. Finding your breath. Sweeping back up one more time. Exhale to chair. Left elbow under right. Right knee over left. Find that balance, squeeze those legs. And see if you can squeeze your belly in. Good, inhaling up. Just take a full body stretch here, maybe baby back bend. And exhale back to your mountain. Good, finding our tree, rooting down into your right foot. And see if you can bring your left sole of your foot, your left big toe on the earth first. Just pointing your chest and hips forward. And think about growing taller, that good posture. Pulling your navel in, slight pelvic tilt. You can stay here, or you can bring the sole of the foot to the calf, pressing it in, and turning that left knee out to the sidewall, or you can bring it to your inner thigh. Taking any version, everybody's tree is unique. Any tree you want. Just focusing on balance and breathing. Pull your navel in, engage that core. Find your drishti, one spot to gaze at. And releasing that down, shaking it out. Try it on the other side. Move down into that left foot. Stay right here if you want. Just focus on that good posture, growing taller. It's all right to have wind. Every day is different. Balance is the first thing we lose as we age. I like to do a lot of balance. And taking your time, just keep that right big toe on the earth and just focus on lifting the big toe. Just staying right there, just an inch off the earth, and then you can drop it down just over time. Finding that balance. Good, one more breath wherever you are. And slowly coming down, shaking that out. Coming back to the top of your mat and inhaling up to the sky. And forward fold, bending those knees a little bit, flat back. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, plant those hands, step it back, downward facing dog. And think about pulling your navel towards your spine as you float to your high plank. Rooting down into the earth, pushing the earth away, squeezing your belly, and rounding your upper back a little bit, pressing into the balls of your feet, and dropping your knees. You can lower down, all the way down into Cobra. So thumbs are by your armpits, elbows are in, and your chin is on the earth. And just lifting your head, neck, and shoulders. Feel like you're pulling that mat towards your chest. So you're just lengthening your torso. Inhale up, exhale down. Just feeling that in the lower back. Inhale up. Think about your heart coming forward, exhaling down. You can keep your head in line with your spine. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. 3 more. Breathing in and breathing out. Keeping those toes on the earth. And we want to let go of our glutes in our Cobra, Bhujangasana. And 1 more. Good. Just rest your head on your hands and bend those knees. Just moving side to side, windshield wiper here. Just resting your head. And we'll come into our locust pose, which is great to strengthen your back. So see if you can bring your chin on the mat and bring your hands to your lower back, palms facing up. And see if you can, as you breathe in, lifting your head, neck and shoulders, keeping that neck in line with your spine, gazing to the front of your mat. See if you can lift your legs. Inhaling as high as you can, trying to lift the thighs. And you can squeeze your glutes here in locusts. Exhale, release. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Good. Inhaling up. And we're going to add on here, exhaling down. See, next time you inhale up, see if you can bring that right hand out to the side and salute as you inhale up. And bring it back down as you exhale. Inhale that left arm. Bringing in front, salute. And bring it down as you exhale. Good, keep going. Moving with your breath here. Inhale. And exhale, strengthening that lower back. Good, just 5 more. Moving with your breath here. And 3, 2, and last one. Inhaling up. And exhale down. Good, just let those arms relax. Turn one cheek on the mat and windshield wiper. Side to side. Good, just planting those hands under your shoulders and pressing back into your child's pose. Taking those knees nice and wide and letting your forehead rest on the earth. Just releasing that lower back now. Letting your hips relax. Letting your arms rest. Good, just see if you can come back into your table and walk that right knee to your right wrist. Taking our pigeon pose, turning your right toes to the front of the mat. And maybe if you want to block, you can rest your head. Extending that left leg nice and long. You can stay up here in your pigeon. Just squaring your hips off. You can bend this left knee, grab a hold of the foot. Maybe reach that right arm up to the sky. Little back bend. Feeling this in your quadricep. And slowly coming down into your sleeping pigeon. You can always drop this right hip to the earth. If this is really tight, just forward fold over that right knee and let your right hip rest. You can rest your head on a block or onto the earth. Trying to stretch that piriformis muscle. Gets very tight. We need to keep it pliable. You can stretch that psoas muscle. The SI joint is involved. So just taking a few more breaths here. If this is painful, take this on your back. You can take your supine pigeon. If this bothers your knees, you can always take it on your back. Back into that figure 4 we did earlier. If you have any knee issues. Just notice where you're feeling it and see if you can soften and release. Good, one more deep breath in. And exhale, planting those hands under your shoulders and see if you can just take that 3-legged dog or your table and just shake that right leg out. And dropping that right foot to meet your left. Trying that pigeon on the other side, lifting your left leg, bending that left knee to your left wrist. Turning those left toes to the front of your mat. And staying up here for a breath or two. Maybe bending that back knee again, grabbing a hold of the foot, or just coming down into your sleeping pigeon, whatever's calling out to you. It's your practice. Just taking a few breaths, softening and releasing. If you're feeling these pigeons tonight, we have yin yoga back on Tuesday nights, 6:45. So come to yin tomorrow night if you feel really tight with all this crazy weather. But this time just sitting back on your left hip and swing those legs around. Just coming into your staff pose. Sitting up nice and tall, just shaking those legs out, doing that Tantramsasana up and down. And just flexing and pointing. Sitting up nice and tall, just sweeping those arms up to the sky. And always bend your knees a little, Paschimottanasana, forward folding. Either grabbing your ankles or your big toes or the outside soles of your feet. Or just letting your arms rest. Just think about hinging forward from your hips and not forcing the upper body. So let the upper body relax. Check in with your jaw. Relax your jaw. Easing down at your knees. Let your neck relax. Good. Slowly bending your knees. If you have a strap, grab your strap. Slowing down one vertebrae at a time. And see if you can bend that right knee into your chest to place that strap on the ball of your right foot. Hold that strap in your right hand. And just see if you can let that left leg be nice and long on your mat. And just release that right foot a little bit away from you. So not forcing it to come up here. Just feeling that stretch in your hamstring. Not forcing that leg too high. Keep it either over your hip or slightly away. Good. Keeping this left hip on the earth. See if you can take that leg out to the right, a few inches. Good. Take that strap into your left hand and cross that right leg over your left, just till you feel that outer thigh, T-band stretch. Yeah, and breathing into the stretch. See if you can keep that low back on the earth, sacrum meeting the earth again, and take that leg out to the right. It's moving nice and slow, keeping that low back down and crossing it over. Using your breath here, exhaling out, inhaling out to the right, switching hands, not forcing that leg, have a bend to that knee, crossing over one more time, and just see if you can plant that right foot on your left thigh, bending that right knee, and just taking a gentle spinal twist, opening your arms out to a T, and gazing to the right. This is too much. You can always just bend your knees together, dropping them to the left, and just bringing your feet closer to the front of your mat for less intensity, or those knees closer to your chest for more intensity. You decide. Just taking a few sighs out of the mouth. Good. Bringing those knees back to the center. Bring that left knee into your chest. If you have that strap, placing it on the ball of your left foot. And extending this right leg on the earth. Keeping that right hip low back on the earth. And not forcing this leg up. See if you can keep it over your hip or a little below. Making any movement. If you want to flex and point, make some ankle circles. Just trying to keep that low back on the earth. That's where you'll get that hamstring stretch. Pulling your navel slightly towards your spine. And taking that leg out to the left when you're ready, left side of the room. Maybe taking that right arm out to the right. Moving with your breath, crossing that leg over your right leg, just a few inches. Making sure that low back stays on the earth. Inhale that leg out to the left, just moving back and forth with your breath. Exhaling across. Again, not forcing that leg toward your chest. You can leave it away, further away from the body. One more time, taking it out to the left. Feeling that inner thigh stretch. And bringing that leg up, bending that left knee, dropping that left foot on your right thigh, and taking a spinal twist, dropping that left knee to the right. Arms can come out to a T, and maybe turning your head to the left. Again, if that's too much, just bring your knees together. Just dropping both knees to the right. And breathing into the spine, that lower back, softening and releasing. Good. Your next inhale, just bring those knees back into your chest one more time. Squeezing your nose to your knee, making yourself as small as you can. And then extending out to your Shavasana. Always place your legs on your blocks or a bolster or a blanket. If you need that extra cushioning, place it under your knees. Let your arms fall out to the sides and closing your eyes. Going back to where we started, quieting your mind, riding your breath like ocean waves, finding stillness. Resting your body, resting your mind. Just deepening your breath here. As you exhale, just wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Making small movements, maybe a full body stretch. As you inhale, just bringing your knees into your chest. As you exhale, just rolling to one side, just cradling your head in your arm. Just pausing there, calling your intention for your practice to yourself. Make yourself at home. Once you accept yourself unconditionally, you'll be surprised at how comfortable you begin to feel, no matter where you are. We may have tricked ourselves into thinking our security came from outside ourselves, that we needed certain other people or things or items, or we had to live our lives a particular way to feel secure. But relying on things and people outside of ourselves provides a false sense of security. False security will be shown for what it is. There's a real security, a true security available to all of us, no matter who we are, where we are, or what we're doing. The security comes from accepting ourselves. Security comes from trusting ourselves, our wisdom, our connection to the divine, and to the universe around us. No matter where we are, it will feel like home. When you're ready, just gently making your way up to a comfortable seat. Bring your palms to your heart center. Taking one more deep breath together. And as we exhale, I bow to you. Namaste. Peace be with you. Namaste.